Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Nashville Stars Franchise. We are pumping out videos in this series. I hope you guys are enjoying this here in season number 2 as the rebuild is underway. Now, last episode, we floated around an idea that, you know what, maybe it's time to kind of blow it up. And I'm looking at our pitching staff, and this has really been the biggest strength of ours. You see, we have a couple of good prospects. Matthew Thompson we acquired in trade. Steven Brennan was our #1 pick. I mean, we have guys coming up in the organization pretty soon. So the pitching staff, I'm not too worried about. Obviously, the bats need work, and I'm looking at guys like Miguel Rojas, a guy that is a veteran, a guy that can probably go to a contender and help them out, or at least give a team a playoff push. Victor Robles is also a guy, you never know, but I like what he does defensively, so I'm really not looking to move on from him. And at the MLB level, we are just kind of up and down at this point. We aren't doing too well, we aren't doing too bad. I mean, we're 33-45, 12 games under 500, about where we sat last year, to be completely honest. And I'm just looking at this season ahead of us. I mean, what are we playing for? Are we playing for the rebuild? Are we playing to contend? And it's obviously the rebuild. I look at our team and I think, who can we really improve at in the future? I'm talking next year, I'm talking about 2 years from now. And I look at a guy like James Wood. I highlighted him last episode. This guy is amazing. OPS at 842. I'm looking at the Padres and look what they want. They want a left fielder, starting pitcher, and a first baseman. And this trade right here makes sense. Oscar Mercado, but then they also want Eliezer Hernandez, and I am just not willing to do this. I just don't want to move on from Eliezer yet. And I think that Eliezer is one of those guys that we started with in the franchise I want to keep. So definitely not interested in that. So to figure out a way to get James Wood, I had to be smart. I also want Kurt Zambrano, who is a young catching prospect who is very, very good. 76 overall at 20 years old and B potential. And they want a couple of guys. Rojas is one of those guys. Then there's Julius Roberts, who I actually really, really like. He has a C potential, 66 overall, 25-year-old. OPS at 930. Wow, we're giving away a big piece. But what will we do? We decide to keep Miguel Rojas, but we make the first three-way trade in MLB The Show history. The Padres will acquire Oscar Mercado, Eli White from Nashville, and starting pitcher Jimmy Lambert from Chicago, a prospect. The White Sox will acquire Chris Paddock. They get Paddock from us, Nottingham and Roberts. And then the Stars, out of all of that, will acquire outfielder James Wood and catching prospect Kurt Zambrano. We get the two prospects that we want. I'm excited about James Wood hitting 287 at AAA. Hopefully will be the future at center field for us. He is excellent defensively, offensively, all the way around. This guy can absolutely play. And we end up with Kurt Zambrano as well. And wow, what a trade here. I am happy to get this trade done. We move on from a couple of guys in our organization, and hopefully it pays off, because this team, I think, is built for the future in this one. And I love what we've done. I love what we have done. And looking at, who we have coming up in the majors, we decide to move Justin Faith, who was a middle infield prospect, over to second base. Shea Whitcomb officially goes all the way over to third base, which is, obviously warranted. He definitely should have been over there. But I'm happy to actually keep Miguel Rojas, because he is a guy that I still think could be a mentor for the young guys. I have not done the mentorship player yet. That will probably be next episode where I do that. Last year was Miguel Rojas. Every middle infielder got +1 in all of their attributes, and I will spin the wheel again to see if they get +1, 2, or 3. But I just like what our organization looks like right now. We have a couple of pitchers now that we need to fill in spots for, and I'm just going to throw in. Some of you guys in the comment section said I should just throw in some young guys up to the MLB level, just see what they have. So I'm going to throw in Damian Houston. He is a top 10 prospect of ours, and I don't think it hurts to kind of put him up there and just see what he's got, and then if he struggles, move him back down. I don't see anything wrong with that. I won't move up Kurt Zambrano to the major league level. Instead, I will go to the minors and go after Wilson Ramos. I'm doing that because I have a starting catcher right now in Jorge Alfaro, who is not bad. I don't want to like split time with him. I want to let his contract play out. He is going to be a free agent this coming year. And we decide to move up Kendrick Franklin Cole to the MLB level. So right away, he will hit 3 in our lineup. He hit pretty well in AAA, so I believe in his talents right now. We will see what he's got and see what he's got in right field, and he will DH versus lefties. So let me know what you guys think of that three-way trade, the first one we've ever done. And now we hop into the MLB level where we see KFC Kendrick Franklin Cole's major league debut. Can't wait to get into this game. Kendrick Franklin Cole is an excellent hitter. You can just see 295 average, 859 OPS, which is a great OPS there. And I think this guy is just going to be a very good player. And, you know, if I had to guess, like, who is the player we're going to build around, KFC is one of the top candidates offensively. So let's get into this game. Facing the St. Louis Cardinals, here is John Dumont, and he gets robbed right away. Harrison Bader with the sliding catch starting out this game, playing some good defense. That brings up Shea Whitcomb, who leads our team in average. He hits one well deep to center field. This one is going to be caught by Bader again. 2 good plays back-to-back by Harrison Bader, and now that brings up Kendrick Franklin Cole for his first major league at-bat. He gets a curveball, and he's a little bit ahead of it. Strike 3. He goes down swinging in his first AB. Kohei Arihara is going to be on the mound for us today. We picked him up in the Rule 5 draft, and he has actually not done bad at all. He has been a very good veteran pitcher in the rotation. He gets the second out of the inning, as that brings up Paul Goldschmidt, one of the best hitters in MLB The Show, and that one will be a throw to first. Shea Whitcomb, full-time third baseman now, will get the out. As that brings up Dominic Smith here in the top of the second inning. He goes deep. That one is crushed and gone. Nashville takes the 1-0 lead here on the road at Busch Stadium. And how about Dominic Smith? One of those guys that, you know, still has some potential, has a big bat, hasn't really shown it, but he is hitting better this year than he was last year. As that brings up Abdul Herrera now with a 1-0 lead. He gets a low pitch to hit. He grooves this one to right field. This one's in the bullpen for back-to-back jacks. Abdul Herrera, our big free agent signing, I guess, one of the 2 big free agent signings. We brought in Ryan Mountcastle on a 4-year, $40 million deal, I should say. And then Abdul Herrera came over making $6 million a year, 2-0. That brings up Rojas, who we decided to keep. We're not at the trade deadline yet, but we decided to keep him at least through July, as that brings up Ryan Mountcastle, hitting down in the lineup now at that 7 spot. I'm not sure he's happy about that, but he gets a base hit to the right side. Victor Robles comes up to the plate now. He grounds the short. This one's going to be fielded cleanly, and it's going to be 2. The thing about Victor Robles, I know he's finished the year strong last year. I definitely need to see something better out of his bat. Shea Whitcomb at the plate now in the 3rd inning. He hits one well to right field. This one gets to the wall. I love what Shea Whitcomb is doing. A lot of you guys have pointed out that his OPS is low, and yes, it is low. His on-base percentage definitely needs to be higher, and either his, slugging needs to be higher, but I like what he brings to the table. KFC back at the plate for his 2nd inning, and that's going to be a strikeout. Andrew Heaney gets him looking for his 2nd K of the game. Dominic Smith back at the plate. He hits one well to right field. This one is going to be hit off of the track and bounces off of the wall. It's going to score 1. Dominic Smith with 2 RBIs today, and that will stretch this lead to 3-0 here for his 8th double of the year. Can Herrera foul that up once again? And that's going to be an outside fastball. Strike 3 gets him looking. And that does end the third inning. John Dumont back at the plate here in the fifth inning, and that one will be a bloop single. John Dumont is just a weird base hitter. He gets so many of those hits. It's so funny. As that brings up Shea Whitcomb now in the 2 spot. We're going to send John Dumont. That is his game right here. Getting singles, stealing second. I don't care that much about John Dumont's OPS because of that. He's just such a great base stealer. KFC back at the plate. Still cannot get a hit in this one. That one's going to be a ground ball up the middle. 0 for 3 days so far. As now Dominic Smith comes up. Can he get another RBI? Ripped to first and caught. Goldschmidt had to be on his horse on that one. Or was that Paul DeYoung? I couldn't tell. Now on to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kohei Arihara still cruising on the mound, facing Dylan Carlson in the 8th spot. Ground ball to short. Dumont fields it cleanly, throws on to first, and that will end the 5th. On to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tommy Edman at the plate. Dumont dives and knocks this one down, but a base runner will be aboard with 2 outs here. Bringing up Paul Goldschmidt with that big bat. Inside slider, it's a strike 3. That one will get him looking. And now here we go. Bottom of the 7th inning. Kohei Arihara is still pitching well, but now he walks 2. And now with men on first and second, we will have to pull him. And a good outing from him. Didn't give up any earned runs. We'll see if that stays put here as we bring in Cody Stadjak, who is my favorite relief pitcher that we have. And here comes Harrison Bader at the plate. 91 speed in center field. A little tapper back to the mound. That one will be the first out of the inning. Bringing up Edmundo Sosa to the plate. And that's going to be strike 3. 2 outs. Dylan Carlson again. 3-2 pitch. Outside change. And we're going to load up the bases for Jose Trevino. 0 for 2 today. He hits one down the left field line. It gets past Whitcomb. It will score 1. It will score 2. It's now a 3-2 ball game here as St. Louis has crawled back in this one. And this inning is still going here. As that does get them 2 runs across the board, but that's going to be it. But now we go to the top of the 8th inning. Here's Abdul Herrera at the plate again. He drives one deep. That is gone. His second of the day. Abdul Herrera coming through for the big clutch home runs in this one. Number 9 and number 10 on the year. And that one will stretch this lead 5-2. As that brings in Robert Suzuki out of the bullpen. He is such a flamethrower from the left side of, I guess, his hand in this. Is now he gets another strike called on the sinker. That's a strike 3. Harrison Bader couldn't keep it. And Edmundo Sosa comes up, and it's a curveball inside. Just absolutely fools him. He gets the save in this one. How about Abdul Herrera? 2 for 3 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Kohei Arihara does get the win in this one. Very good baseball today. Ryan Mountcastle, I didn't highlight it too much, but he went 3 for 4 today. Maybe that will get his bat going. Who knows? Now we get to check out our new toys to play with here in the organization. James Wood and Kurt Zambrano. I'm definitely excited to see both of them in the organization. James Wood was actually hitting very, very well. For some reason, he was only 9th in all-star voting for center field in AAA. That's pretty hard to believe. He's hitting the ball really well. His first at-bat is going to be a hard-hit ball to short, but just a double play ball. As that one was tattooed, but right to the shortstop. Kurt Zambrano comes over with a .317 batting average, which would be first on our AAA affiliate. His first at-bat will be a slider outside, and he does walk for his first AB. James Wood 0 for 2 in this game as we move on to the 5th inning as we're only covering those 2 players. This one's hit well to left center, and the first hit will be a double and an RBI double at that. There we go. James Wood, this is why I got him. I knew that he had a high OPS, and I knew that he could hit for extra bases pretty well, and that one was absolutely tattooed. And James Wood is one of those guys like KFC. He's got a good bat. He could be right in the middle of our lineup for years to come. He's only 20 years old. Kurt Zambrano at the plate. I don't see him being much of a middle-of-the-order hitter, but he's just a solid hitter, a good prospect at 20 years old. Both of them are 6'5" and 6'7", respectively. James Wood 1 for 3 today. Now as we move on to the 7th inning, here facing Ramirez on the mound. He hits one well deep to center field. That was crushed over the center fielder's head. That one could be 3. Woods is rounding second, headed to third, and it will be a triple. James Wood will have his second triple of the year. And now that brings up Kurt Zambrano in extras in the bottom of the 11th inning with a chance to be the hero here. Walk-off could be here in his future, but a fly ball to left center. The center fielder will run that one down. And we're still in extras here. Bringing up James Wood, runner on first base. Bottom of the 12th inning now. He is 2 for 5 today. And that is Jimmy Sandoval on first. We might send him here. We don't. He fouls that one off. Now a 3-2 count with 1 out. And Sandoval is on the move. And James Wood gets a good pitch to hit. This one's down the line. It knocks off of the wall. It looks like we're sending Sandoval. The throw home. And it won't be there. James Wood in his debut with the Tide will walk this one off. How about the new acquisition from the Padres? James Wood comes through 3, 4, 6, a triple, 2 doubles. And this is why you acquire players like this. You give up a lot. We gave up Chris Paddock, our ace, and we get a good player like this. I'm very, very happy to see James Wood in the organization. I think this is what we've been missing. You guys have said you guys want a big hitter. I think that James Wood is going to be that big hitter. And then another trade offer from the Padres. It looks like they want to keep dealing with us. They like, how we negotiate things, and they offer us Tirso or Nelas, but definitely not in the running for him. He's 59 overall, C potential. A good prospect, but definitely not what I'm looking for right now. So we move on to All-Star Weekend at this point, and we are really checking out our prospects in this episode more than anything, and checking out our new, players moving up to the MLB level like KFC. But around the MLB, there's a lot of good prospects. Kerry Doss is in the Futures game. He is our number 1 rated prospect in the organization. I'll probably show you guys the rankings of how I rank all of my prospects right now, top 15 at least. James Wood makes the Futures game as well. Great OPS, 824. Kerry Doss is actually hitting very, very well. Also, 285 average, 876 OPS, hitting third in the lineup. So that says a lot. He's one of the best prospects in baseball, top 20 right now. I'm not ready to move him up. I still think he needs at least a year development, 1 more year. He's got a great bat. That's undeniable. But he's still young, so I'm not in a rush. Here he is for his first at-bat here in the Futures game. That one will be a fly ball to right field. At least moves the runner over. As we move on later here in his second at-bat, low pitch. This one's a ground ball up the middle and a double play ball for Kerry Doss. But he is a very good hitter. 0 for 2 today. As that brings up James Wood in the 6th inning, just highlighting our players here. And Wood absolutely crushes this one deep off the wall. And we are in Seattle today. That one will be an RBI double. The throw will be offline. And we will score Tamar Johnson, who is a prospect from the Yankees organization. As that brings up Kerry Doss now in the 9th inning. He gets his first hit of the evening today. That one will drop in center field. A 1 for 5 day for Kerry Doss, our top prospect. And now with runners on the corners here, that brings up James Wood. Can he come through with 2 walk-offs in the same episode? 1 All-Star game and 1 AAA debut with our Tides. And here we go. 2-1 pitch is going to be low and inside. That's a changeup. Eventually brings it to a 3-2 count. 2 outs, and that one was right over the middle of the plate. And James Wood cannot get good wood on it. 5-4 loss here for the AL Futures, but I definitely see some good signs from James Wood and Kerry Doss, two of the big power hitters that we have coming up in the organization. I'm excited about Wood. Let me know what you guys think of this kid. He looks very, very good. We move on to the All-Star game at the MLB level, and our only All-Star is Austin Pruitt. He is having an excellent year. I don't know what it is about MLB The Show, but every single one of my franchises, I always find good relief pitchers, and they end up like really sticking and really being good. And Austin Pruitt, we picked up in the Rule 5 draft, and he is an All-Star. I'm not sure how often that has happened. It's got to be like pretty slim to none, though. I don't know how often that's happened. Jalen Miller was also picked up in the Rule 5 draft, I believe, and he is a All-Star for the Rays. I won't even cover the All-Star game because I'm not going to cover a relief pitcher making the All-Star game. I need another guy, maybe an offensive guy next year. Who knows? But looking at our schedule here in July as we do make it to the All-Star break, you can just see we're kind of just a little slumping, a little bit of a slump here to start the month. And you know what? I like this team. I can't lie. I like this team. Now that we have these prospects, I think we're just a solid team. We get a trade offer for David Peralta. If this was 10 years ago, I would have took this trade. David Peralta at age 25 was a 312, 371 on base percentage guy. I mean, he was really, really good. Looking around the MLB at the moves that other teams have made, there have been quite the head scratchers, to be honest with you. And I usually keep the trade slider down. I turned it up in the month of July, and just madness started to ensue. Jonathan India gets traded to the Yankees. What is up with the Yankees getting everybody? They get Jonathan India. They already have Gleyber Torres. I guess they need a shortstop. They have Tamar Johnson, who we just saw in the Futures game. And then they have Oswaldo Cabrera at short. I mean, he's okay. He's not great. Obviously replaceable if you're not doing well. He's hitting 210, but the Yankees get even stronger. I mean, this is what we have to build against. And this is why this rebuild and getting these good prospects is so important, because you can just see, you know, these teams are continually building and they're not going away. The Blue Jays right now are in first place by 5.5 games. The Yankees needed to, I guess, make that move in order to make that run at the AL East. We are sitting here at 40-58. 18 games under 500, just about where we were last year, to be honest with you. And that's okay. We are in a rebuilding state. We probably will have, I want to compete next year, but we probably, if I'm being realistic, we'll have one more big year of rebuilding, getting our prospects up to par. I like our pieces right now. At that point, Abdul Herrera will be on the last year of his 2-year contract, so we will have to figure out, you know, where we want to sit with him. But he's hitting 265 this year, has a decent OPS. Ryan Mountcastle has his average up now, 246. OPS is below average, though, at 675. Abdul Herrera's is at 789, which is a little above average, but it's not, you know, excellent. Miguel Rojas, average at 241. He still could be dealt in the next 2 weeks, but for now, I'm keeping him around. Jorge Alfaro is going to be a free agent. He's hitting 236, not great. Average OPS as well. And then we have some veteran guys like Michael Rock, who is just a utility guy. He is hitting 221. Victor Robles hitting 219. This is where it gets scary down here. Josh Fuentes hitting 201. Monty Harrison 105. I mean, the guy is just terrible. But how about Kendrick Franklin Cole? He's actually slugging pretty well at 410. OPS is down because of his average, but to start his career, I would say that's actually not too bad. It's not a great slugging percentage, but I would say he's just going to get his feet wet. Next episode, we will cover him a little closer to see like where he's kind of struggling so far in the first couple of weeks. He's been only up for 2 weeks or so. So we'll see. Our pitching staff is actually doing well, though. Troy Quincy, average whip, but he's actually leading the MLB in strikeouts still. So that is amazing. Kohei Arihara is pitching very, very well. 122 whip, 3.55 ERA. The ERA is kind of higher, but it's all right. Eliezer Hernandez, not pitching the greatest, but I still love him in the future. 27 years old, I'll bank on that. Looking at our bullpen, doing excellent. Look at all these guys. Payamps is doing well. Stajik is doing well. Phil Maton, his whip is up, but he is the highest rated bullpen guy, and he actually has the highest whip. Then everybody else is doing pretty well. Damian Houston is off to a pretty rough start, though. .229 whip, and a 10.32 ERA in 11 innings. He is 0-3. So that's going to do it here. Let me know what you guys think of the three-way trade, the first ever in MLB The Show history. I'm excited to get into the rest of this season. Next episode, like I said, I'm going to focus on some of our young guys, talk about, what our future is. And I'm going to focus on, a couple of guys that I think we either may have to move on from, or what I'm thinking in free agency in the offseason. We still got a few episodes left in this season, so I don't want to rush anything. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.